we had one previous version of this competition. The previous one was about designing a new apartment complex close to my hometown, Rotterdam. And the final was, so we invited 3 or maybe even more teams to come to Rotterdam to present their designs, basically. And then actually 3 of them got a prize. And that was, and also we had a little exhibition area there to present the designs. So that was quite interesting. And Riva has another competition too, which is more about research. So research done by students, for example, related to graduation project. So this is kind of the second competition that Riva organizes every 3 years. And this one is more related to designs. And again, is specifically for students, or actually I should say student teams, because we expect students to work in a team around this. This round is sponsored by SME. We have a second design competition. In this case, it's about a school, and it's a renovation of an existing school, and we will tell more about that later. The idea is that we select 3 teams. So far we have, I think, 27 teams in total that registered, and well, ideally the jury should select 3 of those teams that we think is best, and we will invite those 3 teams to come to Milano, where next year in June we will have the Clima conference, and during that Clima conference those 3 teams will be allowed to basically present their plans, and then on the spot we will decide who is first, who's second, who is third. Next slide, please. This is some examples from last time. Again, this was a totally different competition. It was like a new building, so you could design anything you liked. This was actually very close to the river, so it was an area that is prone to flooding. So one of the design challenges was to design it in such a way that the ground floor could flood, which of course is very typical for the Dutch Delta situation. So there were some challenges included there that, we don't have to deal with this round in Milano, but we will share these slides with you later on, or maybe even put them on the website. That's maybe more easy, Marie, but then you, of course, can look a little bit more in detail at the designs, but it's so you get a little bit impression of the kind of design that the teams produced last time. And the quality is quite high, to be honest. So not to scare you, those of you that will join the competition, but yes, next slide, please. And of course, they are available to the website. There's a link to where you can find the winners from last time. Of course, the competition is called Healthy Building Design Competition. So a lot of emphasis when looking at the designs will be on health and comfort, thermal comfort, indoor air quality, ventilation, lighting, day lighting, artificial lighting. Maybe also look to the outside, and on acoustics. So in total, you can earn 35 out of 100 points related to health and comfort, basically, and on environmental quality. Another 25 of those 100 points will be awarded related to energy performance. So if you come up with a real fantastic design that helps to make the building very energy effective, then maximum you can get 25 points for that. For the general design, the overall architecture, the overall layout, some good ideas maybe related to construction, you can earn another 25 points. And then there's some extra points related to innovation and affordability, and maybe viability. How realistic it is to create it, and each jury member will score for him or herself, and then of course the jury will sit together and then we'll make the total score. So it's always good, as if you join a competition, to get an idea about how designs will be scored, and you also can see here already, like if you do a good job related to health and comfort and energy performance, then already you have 60% of the maximum amount of points. So definitely focus on that, and of course the overall design, integral approach, etc. Next slide, please. In the design brief that you received, there is some further explanation what we mean when we talk about thermal comfort, air quality, daylight, light in general, noise and sound. It's not, for example, indoor air quality. It's not forbidden to kind of think for yourself a little bit. Milano is not in terms of air quality, not the cleanest place in Europe. So it's maybe not a bad idea to think a little bit about outdoor air quality. Of course, some days are good, sometimes are bad. But what can you do on a day with momentary bad air quality in terms of protecting the health of the children inside in the school, thermal comfort, overheating, for example? Optimal use of daylight, well, issues related to noise, maybe from upper floor to the floor downstairs. But again, this is all further described in the design brief. Next slide, please. And yeah, can you show the previous one, the energy one? Yeah. No. Yeah. So of course, we also expect you to have some kind of like clever concept related to energy use, heat production, maybe mechanical ventilation, artificial lighting, possibly cooling. I don't know what the plans are. I mean, you could do it passive or active, as long as you convince the jury that, for example, overheating is avoided and that too cold indoor environments in the classrooms are also avoided. And as part of the report, we basically ask to do some rough calculations on actual energy use for, like it says here, heating, cooling, hot water use, and don't spend like weeks on doing this, but it's more general calculations to convince us that you did a good job in terms of energy efficiency. And of course also total CO2 emission related to that. Next slide. Yeah, and then I mean, I don't think it's realistic that we expect people to come up with super detailed costs, also because some teams are not based in Italy, so they don't know how much contractor cost. Maybe in Northern Italy could be different price than in Southern Italy, I don't know. But at least to share some information which is related to cost and or, for example, maintenance and operational cost could work. And like I said, you can also earn some points related to if you can convince the jury that it's very innovative. So you have out-of-the-box indoor climate concepts, and at least you kind of have to maybe prove it by explaining a little bit more about why you think this is going to work. And of course, if you have some background information with simulations or calculations or, I don't know, examples from elsewhere to convince us that it really works, that also will bring extra points to you. And the same is true with like hybrid out-of-the-box ventilation principles, using like biomimicry, copying kind of processes from nature, solutions, innovative solutions related to lighting. These are kind of things that could actually earn you innovation points. Next slide, please. Yeah, so what we asked for, and there was some unclarity about what it is. So we need like a technical report of about 40 pages that kind of describes your plan with floor plans, maybe cross sections, describes, for example, the climate concepts that you came up with. It should be written in English, of course. And we ask you to not to make it anonymous, so put your number on it, but not, for example, your names or your university names. There will be one or two people at the REVA office that will know which team is related to which ID code. But the idea is that the jury members themselves, they don't see like, oh, this one is from, I don't know, a university in Poland or from Italy or whatever. So we try to make it as anonymous as possible for the jury members. So on the report, we ask you to only mention the ID code. One thing we also need is some kind of summary that can be used for more public publications, a bit like the posters that we saw actually from the other entries from 2 years ago. And yeah, it says here to the right, and there were some questions about this, like, do we need a poster or not or whatever? So we'll further clarify that on the website. This, what you show here to the right, is that from the website, Marie, or is that something new?
No, it's from the technical brief that everyone should have received, and
Yeah.
also, so there I will send an updated version with a correction that it's not a DIN A4 but a DIN A0,
Oh yeah,
and
that's
also, as you mentioned, no institution's name. So I also delete that from the brief. As you can see, it's written in the brief, but please no institution's name.
Yeah, not the institution name. Otherwise, the jury can be influenced. Yeah, so we'll share an updated version with you. And again, so it has to be a report about 40 pages combined with like one kind of poster. Of course, you will send this in digitally, but then if at a later stage we decide that we want to print maybe 10 out of the entries and show them during the conference in Milano, then you can put quite a lot of information on this one poster, which is kind of like the public summary. With graphs and of course some text and explanation of the technical concepts you use, and so that's one of the two things that we ask for.
Yeah,
okay,
and last thing, sorry, it's hidden by the screenshot, but there is a sentence about drawings. If any drawings of anything becomes mandatory, then you will also receive descriptive explanation of each mandatory things, which is not yet in the technical brief. There are no mandatory drawings in the brief yet, but in case the jury decides very soon, not in 2 months, but very soon, that they want to see some mandatory drawings, you will also be notified.
Yeah, and this maybe we should explain that a little bit further, because I had an informal meeting with some students from TU Delft last Monday, and then they asked me, they basically communicated to me that it's not clear enough, like, do we need just floor plans or also cross sections, or like more graphic explanations of the climate concept? So we kind of have to make a list about that, and it's a little bit mistake maybe on my side also. So we will, that's what Marie was saying, we will provide that soon to give you a clear idea what we want to see on those 40 pages, and also what possibly could come back on this A0 poster. Okay, next slide, please. Do we also have a slide with the prices later on, or the money, I mean? Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, so I think it's good to mention that, thanks to our sponsor, we have 5,000 euro for the winners, 2,000 for the second place, and 1,500 for the third place. It's not 10,000, it's 9,500, but and also the teams that win, so the 3 teams, they can send in the team members, assuming it's 2, and if it's 3, we can be a little bit creative, but we offer them free access to the conference, and also 3 nights of hotel accommodation. So basically you have to pay for to get there yourself, but the rest is all taken care of, maybe apart from last time we even had like a student party at night, so even the food and the beer was for free one of the nights, not every night, but yeah, and the idea is also afterwards to present at least the 3 winning teams. And last time I think we did even a little bit more with some honorary mentions, but the idea is to present some of the designs in the journal of Riva, which is called Riva Journal. Next slide, please. And I think I'm close to the end. So Livio is going to tell a little bit more about this. This is one picture to show where we are. I love the name of this. The street is also called Wolf Ferrari, I think. It's a primary school. But again, Livio will explain more about this now. So are there right now general questions about the competition that we should look at? Or can we move on to Livio? Let's see. I don't see any. If you have pressing questions, make sure to put them in the chat. And also, of course, we can maybe at the end we can also go to them verbally. But we will make a copy of the chat anyhow if there's like a pressing question. So if you have a question, make sure to put it in the chat. I think right now maybe I should give the word to you, Livio, and you will explain more about the building and the location itself, I think.
Yeah, thank you. If you stop sharing, I will share directly from my computer. Okay. I think now you can see. And as was said before, the design challenge is related to a primary school, which is in Milan, the northern part in Italy. It's called Walt Ferrari Primary School. And you can see from the top is mainly compound of two buildings. The first building is here, and the second is a smaller one, which is just the chimney. So there are, you can see here the front side. This is the chimney with his window placed in the upper part of the exterior wall. And on the back there is the main building where we have the primary school. This is a number I updated, the number of students, and then the number of classes and the average student per classes.
Yeah.
Now the year of construction was 1972, and there was only refurbishment made for asbestos removal and fire prevention, not for insulation, for heating system optimization, and so on. The ground floor area is about 1,400 square meter. And looking at the actual data, occupational data this year, in this school, there are about 553 students and 21 classes. That means a density of about 26 students for each classroom. That's for occupancy. The site is the town of Milan, where we have degree days of 2,404. And the heating seasons start the 15th of October and is stopped the 15th April by law. And you can see here some more detailed information about the useful floor area. This building is three-story building. There is the main floor, first floor, second floor. That is the chimney. The net volume, yeah.
And maybe Livia, just so people understand, so the competition is about the two buildings, including the corridor that leads from one to the other. And like if you want to do something in between or around it or whatever, I mean, so that's basically where the competition is about.
Yeah. Then that volume is 13,929 and the gross volume 16,770. There's a shape factor of roughly 0.5. Now the system is just a standard heating plant. There is a service room with the total installed power in gas boilers of about 700 kilowatt. The heat distribution system just water pipes, and the emitters are just radiator. Very simple. And the domestic hot water is made separately with electric boiler in each toilet. The building fabric is a standard load-bearing structure in reinforced concrete. The walls instead are made by masonry blocks. The roof is made of slightly sloping sheet material pitches. That means that this is a very interesting, element you can work with. Windows are in aluminum frame, and there are several with single and other with double glass. Then this information related to the heat generators. There are 3 boilers, one really new condensing gas boiler with a capacity of about 382 kilowatt, which serve the main part of the school building. That means all the classrooms and other services. We have 2, it's wrong here, circuit. There are another gas boiler with a capacity of 67.7 kilowatt, serving instead the school secretariat and the caretaker's house. And then there's an old gas boiler with capacity of 193 kilowatt used as backup or eventually for extra power. Now you can see here the ground floor plan. And just to give an explanation, though, then you will get all these slides too. And then here I put all the use of the single space, also the height. The height of the main part of the building is just 3.2 meters. Also the corridor, the lobby, and so on. These two parts are just the underground in this place, and we should use this. Okay, in this place is the cellar, which instead is 3.6 meter height, and here on the other side to here, in this point. And this is their staircase to get down. And here there is a door to adjust to the crawl space, because all this is on the crawl space, probably ventilated, I'm not sure. Instead, there is nothing below the chimney, which is here. Here there is a corridor, which is just connection path from the main part of the building and the chimney. And the height here is 6.7 meter. And built here, there is another underground floor. And here we have the boiler room. Here you can see the chimney and then the chimney for the boiler room. Here there are some empty storage room, and also this is a cellar, which is not used. This one probably is used for storing material from the school itself. And only the underground space are not heated. Then all the floor here, ground floor, first floor, second floor is heated, and also the chimney is heated. If we go forward, this is the first floor. You can see here you have only classrooms, lobby, corridor, and then you have some support painting room and support classroom. And the second floor is exactly the same. Sorry, there is a picture here. Anyhow, the second floor is the same. Is a picture. You can see two different blocks. This is continuing. Here is the corridor, which is, I would say, completely transparent. It is mainly window and door window. And then it's completely, let's say, not insulated. And here you can see the location of the window in the top part of the outdoor wall, of course, for the chimney. Here you have the section. Then you can see the ground and reference ground height, and here 0, and then the first floor, main floor or ground floor. Below here is a crawl space, then first, second floor, and that's just the overall height of the building. And it's just the attics below the metal sheet roof. Now, I've already got some questions. How many students there are in each classroom? We already seen about 26. You have a view of each facade of building to attribute correctly the window. You have now the section, you have the plan, then you can understand, but later on you will see a much more detailed data available on this slide. What's the angle made by the roof with the horizontal plane is about 7 degrees. What's the detailed composition of the partition wall, the interior wall, to tackle the acoustic problem is a hollowed bricks, 8 centimeter thick, plus 1 centimeter plaster on each side. There is a ventilation system? No. What is the exact composition of each wall? We'll see. What is the time the room between the two rooms, A32, was named in the previous information we gave? And now you see what the composition and what is the final destination. And for the underground spaces, the floor is just a slab on ground. That means direct contact with the ground. There is on the floor, as I said again, slab on ground. what's the current heating scenario? The building is heated from 7 o'clock in the morning up to 14 in the afternoon, and the heating system is shut down, no attenuation, but just shut down the remaining time. The indoor air temperature by law is set to be 20 degrees C with a, let's say, tolerance of +2 degrees. And all the spaces are heated except the underground spaces, as I said before. Now here you have a full description of the what we are much more interested with, the U value, that means the thermal transmittance, and the thickness of the external wall, which is about 1 watt by square meter Kelvin, and the overall surface for the complex. Then you have also here the floor description with the U value, okay, and the relative surface. Then you can calculate the overall transfer coefficient for all. The same for a ceiling roof, and the flat roof is just on the corridor, which is connecting, the main part of the building with the gym. And then there's also the thermal breach description and value, the C value. And here you have all the windows description, okay, where you see here the dimensions and MVS, so MVD. MVS means single glass, MVD means double glass. But anyhow, you have here the transmittance. You see are not so high because it is aluminum frame. And you see here the surface. Then you have all the information to perform your calculation, if you wish. And finally, I just also put here some information on the climate, standard climate in Milan, used for legal calculation, is for monthly calculation. Then the monthly daily average solar irradiation, that means the solar radiation for the whole day, the average day in the month, north, south, east, and so on, and the temperature. And you see here, April, you have to perform your calculation only for 15 days because then the system will be shut off. And in October, you start from the 15 or the 17, depends on the situation. I think that's all. And if there is some more question, I can try to answer.
Yeah. Are there any questions to Livio? Thank you very much, Livio. A lot of detailed information. Good that you already answered quite a few of the questions. Any additional questions, remarks from one of the participants? I do have a question myself. Is there any solar shading, like sunscreens or something?
Not outside. There is just the standard Venetian blind inside.
Inside. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And this is not a question, but maybe more a personal remark. I mean, of course, it works towards the jury if you come up with not just, I don't know, straight thinking and just saying like, oh, we're going to change the glazing to this and maybe add some solar shading. I think the floor plans and, for example, the roof construction and the fact that you have two buildings next to each other, they kind of give opportunities to do something out of the box, like maybe spectacular. And it's not forbidden to come up with ideas about how to use the attic or maybe add other rooms on top of it, or do something with the cellars that are not used now for something, or maybe give a different function to a space, or maybe use certain spaces to precondition air in a natural way or something. So don't be too, how do you say this? It's good to be a little bit brave.
Conservative, not to be conservative.
No, don't try to be too conservative. Try to be brave, out of the box, and imagine what would Björke Ingels do, or MVRDV, or Renzo Piano. Like don't be too cautious.
What
Okay.
we can try to come back. Why doesn't work? Okay. Looking from the top, you can see here a much large amount of roof you can have here and here, and it's easy to remove because it's just a metal sheet. Then this huge area can be used to put PV system, thermal solar collector, depends on what you like to do.
Yeah.
Or to put a solar chimney, etc., etc.
Yeah. Or maybe include the terrace or with a little meeting space for the youngest children, or like I don't know, anything. So anything goes. So don't try to be too conservative. Don't think that you get lots of extra points if you're like super cautious and conservative. Okay. I think it would be good, Marie, if we put both of the presentations also on the website. Maybe you had planned this already? Yeah.
I will merge our presentations and publish it on the website as well as the recording, so that everyone can rewatch or watch if they weren't able to attend, of course.
Yeah.
And you will be notified by email as usual to know when it's on the website. If you're not receiving any emails whenever you registered, the contact person registered, I sent a link to which you should register to be able to receive all the information, just to be GDPR compliant. Sometimes when it's important like this, the link, I send it through my personal email. Otherwise, it will be, you need to be in the database, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe one of the other jury members wants to say something about or maybe on behalf of the Riva board or on behalf of the sponsor. Joanna,
there's a question. Let's see.
Oh.
There's a question. I don't know if you want to start.
Hello,
yes, Maxime.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I have a question about the project. Are we allowed to include a non-commercialized element in our solutions? We have solutions that are developed, industrialized, and ready for use, but not commercialized yet.
That's no problem at all. I mean, that's especially the kind of stuff we would like to see. Yeah. It could even be like a technology that you came up with the team and you did not test yet, but you're confident that it works and you can put in extra material in your report. So to also convince the jury that this out of the approach works. And then if you integrate that, I mean, that's all very possible. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So to get back to my previous question, is there anybody, Joanna or Lada, who wants to say something on behalf of the jury and or a sponsor?
Well, okay, just on behalf of the jury, I think we are, in general, we are looking forward to see what students will come up, and innovative things are, of course, the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, thanks. Good to hear that. And any additions to this, Joanna?
We are very happy that we be involved to this project, and we believe that the know which everyone know in this project helps to create a new, better solution for a school, which helps child to knows better everything. So, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, so the competition is called Healthy Building. So we really expect the design teams to kind of put themselves in the shoes of the teachers and the children. Like, what kind of school would you have liked to be in when you were a child? Again, it's about the primary school. What kind of things make children happy or maybe make teachers productive? Yes, think about energy technologies. Yes, think about overall architecture and a clear concept, but definitely think about things you can do in and around our own buildings that make children and teachers happy and healthy and productive. Okay. We have 10 minutes left, but if there are no other questions or maybe last remarks on the practical side for Marie, then I think we can close. Marie, any last business we have to talk about?
No, basically just be aware that the technical brief will be updated. You will receive it and receive a change log just to make sure you don't miss any of the changes implemented in the technical brief. And then the same, you will receive a notification whenever the slides and the recording are online. Everything will be published on the Healthy Buildings and Competition website. And if you have any questions, always don't hesitate to contact me. And if it's too technical, I will be forwarding it to someone else. So yeah, don't hesitate if you have questions. And yeah, that's it. Good luck. There's a webinar next week. Also same day, same time, during this webinar, Lada will present, and also another board member, another jury member, sorry. So we hope you will join us. Lada, I don't know if you want to maybe shortly go over just the theme, the title of the webinar. Or...
Well, okay, next week it will be about, just to give you more information, ideas, healthy, comfortable building. So Ulla is going to speak about indoor air quality, and I will speak most about thermal comfort and the other stuff in a building. And week after it will be more guiding about energy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, if you don't join the competition, especially next week, because I know the two specialists that present, it's also very interesting to listen to. So make sure you're there same time next week on Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I think it's time that we close this meeting, and then. Well, I cannot be there next week at 3 o'clock, but the one afterwards I will be there. So see you then. Those of you that will be there next week, good luck and enjoy the webinar of Lara and Ulla. And good luck with your first design ideas.